The envelope slid across my tile floor at 5:58 a.m. Not drop slid, slowly, deliberately, like whoever pushed it through my door wanted me to hear it. I stared at it from the kitchen, coffee halfway to my mouth. Sunrise still blew outside the windows. Nobody delivers mail before 6 a.m. Nobody normal, at least. The paper was warm when I picked it up. Fresh printer ink smell. Cheap toner. Slight smear on the signature line. Final eviction notice. Court order. My heartbeat slowed instead of speeding up. Because I've worked construction inspections for 22 years. And I've seen real legal paperwork hundreds of times. This wasn't one of them. Wrong formatting margins. Incorrect case numbering. A court seal that looked copied from Google Images. And the judge's signature? The name existed, but the handwriting didn't match public records. Someone didn't just threaten me. Someone committed document fraud before breakfast. And I already knew exactly who it was. Brenda Walker, HOA president, self-appointed sheriff of our quiet subdivision. For 6 months, she'd been targeting only 3 households on our street. Mine, the Nguyen family, and the Patels. Different cultures, same treatment. Fines, warnings, inspections, complaints about community image. Last week, she stood in my driveway and said the quiet part out loud. People like you don't fit the neighborhood vision. I folded the fake eviction notice carefully. Not angry, not scared, just interested, because Brenda had no idea who actually lived in this house. My neighbors think my wife Emma works some ordinary courthouse office job downtown. They have absolutely no idea she decides federal cases inside that courthouse. And someone had just forged a federal eviction order. We bought the house for peace. After a back injury ended my field career, I started doing small solar consulting jobs from home. The neighborhood was quiet, older residents, kids biking at dusk, barbecues on weekends. The HOA used to care about landscaping and potholes, normal things. Then Brenda moved in, mid-50s, recently divorced. Perfect posture like she was permanently posing for a photo nobody took. Within a month, she convinced the elderly board she could restore property values. Her first week, as president, she measured trash cans with a ruler. Her second week, she fined a family because their wind chimes sounded culturally loud. Her third week, she discovered my work van existed. $100 fine. Commercial presence violation. The rule didn't exist. I showed her the bylaws. She said she enforced the spirit of the rules. That was the moment I realized this wasn't HOA management. This was territorial behavior. I documented everything after that. Photos, timestamps, recordings. My wife suggested it casually one evening while making dinner, like she was recommending buying milk. She never told me why she sounded so certain we'd need it later. 2 days after the fake eviction notice, Brenda called an emergency community meeting. The clubhouse looked like a courtroom she built from memory. Folding table raised on boxes. Printed name placards. She even sat higher than everyone else. I brought copies of the real bylaws. She brought accusations. Mr. Alvarez is undermining community authority and threatening legal consequences, she announced to 20 confused neighbors. I asked a simple question. Can you show where eviction authority exists in HOA regulations? She ignored it. So I handed out the fake court order. You could feel the mood shift instantly. People leaned forward. The retired teacher squinted at the formatting. The accountant started checking numbers. Brenda's smile tightened. That document was prepared in consultation with legal professionals, she said. Then Nguyen grandfather raised his hand slowly. I worked 30 years in municipal administration, he said gently. This seal is incorrect. Silence. Brenda's voice rose. Technicalities don't matter. Enforcement does. That sentence told me everything. She believed authority came from confidence, not legality. Then she made the mistake. She threatened federal court. I didn't react. But later that night, my wife asked very specific questions about her exact wording. Extremely specific. And for the first time, she didn't look like she was just listening as a spouse. She looked like she was preparing for work. 3 days later, certified mail arrived from multiple families. Official-looking letters, eviction timelines, legal threats, court references. Every targeted household got one. Everyone panicked. Except me. because Emma read the letter once, then quietly asked for my folder of evidence. She didn't comment. She didn't explain. She just organized the documents into labeled sections with terrifying precision, and finally said, "Keep every envelope. Don't respond. And whatever happens next, don't warn her." I'd seen that tone before. It wasn't a wife's tone. It was a judge's tone, and someone in our neighborhood had just scheduled their own courtroom disaster. 2 weeks passed quietly. Too quietly. No new finds. No photos taped to doors. No slow patrols in Brenda's white SUV. The silence felt less like peace and more like someone loading a weapon off-screen. Then the envelope arrived. Not HOA stationery. Not printer paper. Real legal mail. Certified. Barcoded. Stamped. A federal filing notice. Brenda Walker had officially filed a housing enforcement and nuisance complaint against multiple residents, including me, claiming we were damaging property values and refusing lawful removal orders. She hadn't backed down. She had escalated imaginary authority into real court. Neighbors panicked instantly. Phones rang all afternoon. Messages. Screenshots. People asking if they were actually going to lose their homes. I just stared at the header. United States District Court. Courtroom 4B. My stomach finally dropped. Because Courtroom 4B belonged to Emma. I looked at her across the kitchen table. She read the document once, then a second time slower. Her expression didn't change. "Procedurally, I may have to disclose a conflict," she said carefully. "But we still attend the hearing normally. Don't speak to her. Don't react to her. Just answer questions if asked." That wasn't advice from spouse. That was instruction from someone who knew exactly what was about to happen. The courthouse lobby smelled like polished stone and recycled air, the same neutral scent every federal building seems to share. Brenda walked in 10 minutes later with her attorney and 2 supporters from the neighborhood. She looked confident again. Perfect blazer. Chin lifted. The expression of someone who believed paperwork equals power. Then she saw the courtroom number. Then she saw Emma step through the staff entrance in judicial robes. Recognition traveled across her face in slow motion. The driveway arguments, the meetings, the eviction papers, all connecting at once. Her attorney whispered urgently. Brenda didn't move for 3 full seconds. We took our seats. The courtroom settled. Emma entered from the bench door. Now fully the judge, not my wife. Voice calm and completely professional. "Good morning. Be seated. No hosetaschen. No acknowledgement. No familiarity. If you didn't know us, you'd never guess we lived in the same house." Within minutes, things began unraveling. Brenda's lawyers started presenting the HOA authority claims and violation summaries. Emma listened silently, occasionally making notes. Then she asked one question. "Counsel, can you establish the legal authority under which eviction documentation was issued prior to court filing?" The attorney hesitated. "The HOA board. Certified by county registration?" Emma asked. Papers shuffled faster. Whispering increased. "We believe so." "Belief is not evidence," she replied calmly. The temperature of the room changed. Then she requested exhibits displayed on screen. The fake eviction notice appeared. Large, clear, impossible to ignore. Margins wrong. C'est distorted. Signature inconsiste. Emma compared it with an authentic federal order. Side by side. Every difference highlighted. No accusation in her tone. Just facts. The kind that remove escape routes. Brenda's attorney stopped mid-sentence. Requested a recess. Denied. Because federal procedure doesn't pause when evidence suggests document fraud. A court officer entered and handed paperwork to the bench. Emma read silently for several seconds. Then she spoke. "Due to indications of forged federal judicial documentation, this matter is referred for immediate investigative review. Proceedings are suspended pending determination of criminal implications." The words were calm, but the effect wasn't. Brenda looked like gravity doubled around her chair. Her case didn't weaken. It vanished. Outside the courthouse, nobody celebrated loudly. The families mostly looked relieved, the deep kind that comes after weeks of quiet fear. Within a month, the HOA held a new election monitored by the county. Every improper fine voided. Refunds issued. Rules rewritten in plain language instead of interpretation games. Summer evenings returned to normal sounds. Bikes, sprinklers, conversations in different languages without anyone measuring them. And the oddest change? Neighbors stopped asking what Emma did for work. They already understood. Because sometimes the clearest demonstration of real authority is watching fake authority meet it face to face.